What's going on, guys? My name is Johan, and the first thing I'm going to say before I even dive into this video is if you're not ready for the reality and you want to remain being a fucking dork, go ahead and exit out the video. Now, for the people that actually do want to change, I'm glad you're here. I'm actually glad that you're taking a step into changing and developing yourself, because if you keep being in the position that you are in right now, not much is going to change, and you're going to regret it for all the time that you've wasted and all the time that you could have been using towards bettering yourself and achieving your desired goal. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about specifically, it's going to be raw, it's unedited, no cuts. If I mess up, who cares? But it's going to be specifically talking about how to destroy the man that's holding you back. You need to destroy the man that's holding you back. If you don't destroy him, he's going to destroy you. And I could say this from a specific standpoint. I used to use things as a way to cope. I used to use things as a way to escape my actual reality. And all it was doing was digging a deeper hole that I wasn't able to dig myself out of. And what were these things? I used to be the guy that went to the parties every single weekend. I used to be the guy that used to throw the parties every single weekend. I used to be the guy that drank alcohol every single weekend and then complained about it the next week. So what was I actually doing? What was I doing? Because I said, I wanted to change. Mind you, I was overweight. I was weighing about 195 pounds. I was purely fat. My arms were super skinny. And I would complain every single week about the fat showing through my shirt. I would develop this fucking habit of putting the shirt away from my body because I was so upset with the person I had became. And what did I do with that? Instead of actually working towards bettering myself and, stop doing the things that were actually holding me back, I used alcohol as an escape. I partied every single weekend. I was wasting my potential. And in reality, I think I was using it as a sense of satisfaction, because every single time I would go to a party or I would drink, I would get drunk, and I would wake up the next morning hungover and say how I wanted to stop doing this. I'd do it again because I would always forget about what I actually wanted to do, which was better myself. But every time I would get drunk and I'd do these things and I look for the satisfaction of the fucking women, I would forget about the actual goal, which was to lose fat, because that's what was holding me back. Me doing those things on a day-to-day basis every single weekend from Friday to Sunday, just because it made me forget that I had that belly fat, that I was so fat that I was broke. I had nothing. And ever since I think about a freshman in high school till senior year, I would complain about how fat I was and how I always wanted to lose, the weight, lose the pounds off my stomach, in general, just feel good and look better. But I was never feeling good, because what was I drinking every single weekend for? Right? Like, you need to let everything go. It's not going to give you a sense of satisfaction that you need. And that's what people don't understand. They rather find an escape rather than work towards what they actually need that will give them that sense of satisfaction. You need to destroy the person before he destroys you. And that person was destroying me. That guy that was going to the parties. That guy was using the satisfaction from the women. That guy that was 24/7 going out just because he wanted to get his mind off of how insecure he actually was. And man, I was insecure. I hated how I looked. I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, you're a fat pig. You can't amount to anything. You say you want to change, yet you don't. And when I actually took action, it was minimal action, because I would go to the gym one day out of the week, put a waist trainer on with a trash bag right under it, thinking that would melt the fat off my body, hop on the treadmill or the stairs for 30 to 40 minutes, and that's it. Call it a day. There was no proper structure or plan in my life that made me change. And that's why I kept going back to the same stupid cycle that I was doing every single weekend. Now, I'm not saying this because drinking is bad, or you can't have fun, or I'm allergic to having fun. I'm saying this because the person that you think that you are right now, the person that you think that you are right now, you think you're in an amazing position. But look at yourself truthfully in the mirror and ask yourself, are you actually happy with the things that you're doing? Are you actually happy with how you look, your day-to-day habits, and the person you are? Because it wasn't until the day that I woke up with a sore throat, dehydrated, after a weekend of completely drinking, wasting my potential, like I just said, that I had to go to the hospital. I got IV into my veins. I have videos into my veins because I was so dehydrated and my immune system was completely shattered. It wasn't until that day that I woke up and said, I have to stop doing this because it's destroying me. That person that I killed, that I destroyed, he was destroying me. And if I didn't destroy him, right now I probably would have been an alcoholic. Now, I'm not saying I was an alcoholic. I'm not saying I drank every single day. But if I would have stayed down the same road and the same path that I was on, that every single weekend I would go out, waste my potential, find the satisfaction from women, try to escape my reality of how much I hated the person that I actually was, then I probably would have been an alcoholic. I probably would have been in the hospital, and my immune system would have been 10 times worse. I don't remember the last time I got sick since I started focusing on my health. I don't remember the last time. If you ask my family, my friends, anyone that knows me, I used to get sick at least 3 times a month. At least, like, maybe more, but no less than 3. And you know what it always was? Sore throat. Always fever. Always super dehydrated. Because of the alcohol. The alcohol destroys not only your liver, but it destroys your health. And that's exactly what it did to me. But I'm not going to get all sciencey. I'm not going to talk about, what you should and what you shouldn't do. All I'm going to talk about is that you need to destroy that person, because that person is going to destroy you. So whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be anything. But the habits that you do on a day-to-day basis, if they're not making you better, they're making you worse. They're destroying you. So you have to grab those habits by the fucking throat and eliminate them. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. No one is coming to save you. And I could say this a million fucking times. No one is coming to save you. And I had to find that shit out the hard way, because when I was in the hospital getting IV put into me, who was the one that had to wake up the next day and drink the medication? Me. Who's the one that had to actually put the food into my body that was going to allow me to have better health and lose the weight off my body? Who was the one that's going to go to the gym, lift weights, stay consistent, and actually burn fat and gain a healthier lifestyle? Me, because nobody was going to do it for me. Nobody's going to melt the body fat off your stomach. Nobody's going to eliminate your bad habits. You're not going to have someone to tell you, hey, bro, you need to stop doing this. Okay, that's fine. Even if they do tell you that. Who's the one that has to do it at the end of the day? You! And that man that stares back at you in the mirror every single morning when you brush your teeth, when you're shirtless, that's the man that you have to destroy, because that's your only competition. Your only competition should be you. I never once in my life compared myself to someone. Unless that person was in a position that I wanted to be in, then I compared it in the sense that I want to be in that position. I'm going to work as hard as him to get to that position, because comparison is a thief of joy. And the more you compare yourself to people that are in the same position as you, but still look like shit, is the same way that you're not going to change. Yeah, bro, I'm fat, but I go to parties and I do this and I do that. But it's fine, because Jimmy and Timmy are still doing the same thing like me, right? No, just because somebody else doesn't change doesn't mean you don't have to. You have to change. If you don't destroy the person, he's going to destroy you. Doesn't have to be health-wise. Doesn't have to be mentality-wise. Doesn't have to be physically. But the person that you are waiting so long to destroy is going to end up destroying you if you don't finally take action. And it sucks, man. It sucks because I remember the day that I woke up in the mirror, hungover. My eyes, this was on Halloween, my eyes were still full of black because I had done a skull face paint. My eyes were still full of black. I was hungover, my hair was all over the place. I didn't remember anything from the night before. And I looked at videos and I was blacked out. Threw up everywhere. My friend had to take me home. We ended up going to IHOP. I didn't even remember that. But it was the same cycle every fucking weekend. And you know what I'd black out? Why I wouldn't remember? Because that what would make me feel like, okay, maybe if I drink so much to the point that I black out and I forget about what's actually happening in my life, then it'll go away. But no! It's not gonna go away. Nothing is ever just going to disappear. It's not about, yeah, I'm gonna speak this into the world and that's what's going to come. That's not how shit works. The work that you put in is the work that you get. If you have no input, you get no output. So actually put in the work. And mind you, you're probably like, bro, why are you screaming? Like chill. It's because I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about actually making a change. And if you can't see this video and actually gain a sense of like, fuck, I have to lock in, then exit out the video, bro. Exit out the video and stay normal. Stay the same. Stay average. Stay like 90% of the men on this world. Now, if you're a 1%er, if you're a person that wants to get better, if you're a person that actually wants to change and gets uncomfortable easily, then stay in the video and keep doing it. Tomorrow, wake up, do something you're uncomfortable with, but attack it. Attack whatever situation is holding you back. Eliminate whatever habits is pushing you further away from your goal. And that's it. And grab the man that's staring back at you in the mirror and destroy him. Because like I said, and like I'm going to keep saying, if you don't destroy that person, guys, he's going to destroy you. He's going to destroy you. Like, terrible. And it wasn't only the partying. It wasn't only the drinking. It wasn't only the satisfaction of women that I knew that I had to change. It was the fact that I knew I was wasting my potential. I could have been actually doing the things that I said I wanted to do so long ago. Like, actually being consistent in the gym. Actually prioritizing my nutrition and eating whole foods, high protein whole foods, losing body weight and gaining muscle, working on a business, dropping my clothing brand, doing all these things that I said I wanted to do, yet I never did them. My sense of direction was all fucked up. I was so scared to get uncomfortable that it's exactly what pushed me away from my goal. Now, I do anything to get me out of my comfort zone. Anything, no matter what it is, I'm going to do it. Because the more uncomfortable you are, the more chance you have for growth. And if you don't want growth, then let me put it this way, right? Let's put it like this. When you take a risk, you're scared, right? But taking that risk leads to opportunity, right? The risk leads to opportunity. Now, what does opportunities do? It leads to growth. And growth makes you a better person. So why not ever take a chance in order to grow? If you're going to be able to become a better person, right? To change your habits, right? To lose that weight, to build that muscle, to be financially stable, to grow spiritually, whatever the case is, if it's a chance of growing, why not take it? You would be stupid to not take an opportunity on growing. So you have to change. You have to change. You have to grab that man by the neck. That person that stares back at you in the mirror every single morning. The person that you're disappointed in. The person that you know has to change. And you have to ask yourself, am I actually giving it my all? Am I doing everything I say I'm supposed to do? Am I actually putting in the work like I talk about? Am I completing my goals on a day-to-day basis? Do I really like how I look in front of the mirror? Be completely honest with yourself. Stop lying. Because if you keep lying, you're going to live in this mental masturbation where, yeah, I don't have to do anything because I'm perfect in the position I am. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. So all you have to do is eliminate the bad habits, practice a real routine, build real structure around your life, stop lying to yourself, get uncomfortable, take a fucking risk, and kill the man in the mirror. Once you destroy that person, you're never going to be back. Ever. Life is like a video game, right? Life is literally like a video game. There's only levels that you could keep going up and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. Eventually, you're at level 100. And what's next? Level 101, level 102. What I mean by that is that once you eliminate the person that you're not happy with being, life is exactly like a video game because you can never go back a level. You could only keep progressing forward. It's only an upgrade in a sense. Let's say you're playing a video game and I don't know, you have to upgrade a character. If you upgrade a character, he's only gonna get better, right? That's exactly how life works in every single aspect of things. Destroy the man that looks back at you, the man that's holding you back, the man that wants to keep you average and keep you comfortable. You have to destroy him. Destroy the man. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. And if you really do want to change, there's going to be a link in my description. You can see if you qualify to actually become the next person you need to be. That's going to shock everyone, but mostly you. Because you're going to be the one making the change. You're going to be the one bettering yourself. And you're going to be the one that actually sees the progress you deserve. You're going to stop wasting your potential and you're going to reach it. And I don't believe in reaching your maximum potential. There's only so much that you could do, right? It's just upgrade, 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 upgrade. And that's exactly what's going to happen once you start developing yourself. Lock in, bro. See you on the next one.